All right. Well, welcome in, everybody. I've got 8 o'clock. This is Tango Delta 6, Dave. Nice to see everybody here tonight. I want to welcome you guys into another fantastic Q&A AMA. Tonight, we have a very special couple of guests joining us from the Nobility team. For those of you that don't know, Nobility is a very special project that is near and dear to my heart. I found out about Nobility a couple of days after they had migrated to their version 2 token. And it was actually one of the very first Reflections tokens that I ever bought. And I just immediately fell in love with the concept. I'm a huge fan of Nobility ever since, still a long-term holder with that token, and just super surprised and excited for all the stuff that's going on right now around Nobility. In talking with different people and hosting these AMAs and kind of seeing where TangoCrypto has been going here recently. I was talking to Kyle the other day, and he said we should get together and do an AMA, and I was like, well, I think that's a great idea. So, I spent probably maybe a month and a half onboarding a bunch of people into Nobility because my friends and family were asking me about crypto and what to buy. And also, I just was instructing them, come on board, get some BNB, join the Nobility family. And it's just been a whirlwind ever since. What a great last few months it's been, for sure. Before we get too deep in tonight, I wanted to say a special thank you to Lunar Lander and Rick the Noble One for sharing this hour with us. I know this is normally a time when you guys are doing your own Twitter space for Nobility, and you surrendered that time to be here tonight. I appreciate that. I want you to know that I do. So thank you guys so much for sharing your fearless leaders with us tonight. Super cool and super excited to be here. I know we have Kyle, the CEO, and Hank, the lead developer for Nobility on the line tonight. And I do have a few questions for you guys, but we always like to start by just giving you guys the open mic forum in the very beginning to kind of give us your backstory. Tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you came from, and how did you end up, with it starting and forming the Nobility project.
Yeah, so I'll go first. I'm Kyle McDougal, the CEO of Nobility. Nobility is a product of my esports organization, so Nobility is esports related, and so I am the owner of Noble GG, which is one of the biggest esports organizations in North America. I invested in that organization about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now, because I saw the trajectory of where esports was going. And it's growing exponentially every single year, so I wanted to get in that industry. And so I invested in Noble, and along the way, I just realized that crypto could fill a lot of the inefficiencies within the industry and make it, more efficient and better for not only players, but organizations and tournament organizers and sponsors and pretty much anybody that's involved in the space. So that's when I had the idea for Nobility, and I reached out to some developers. And I started the learning process of learning what is actually able to be done. And, with that information, I took it and, we created the roadmap that we have today. It looked a little bit different 6 months ago when we first made it, but I think we've made some massive strides in the different things that we're focused on right now. It's definitely more exciting than what it was 6 months ago. But Hank has been a huge part of our team. And ever since we brought him on, he's been insane. He put together his own development team on the back end that's, doing a lot of the products that we have. We just launched our app, and they've been working on that diligently for months. So I'll let him get into his background and what he's doing with us. But I couldn't be more blessed to have him and his team on our team. So Hank, if you want to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm Hank. I was the former CTO with SafeMoon. I was there since day 6. And then once I left, I had met Kyle somewhere along the journey. And once I left, I talked to him and decided Nobility was a great place for me to join. I love esports, crypto, and gaming. So, it hit all 3 of the real ticker items for me. Since I've been with Nobility, we've kind of tried to formulate what our roadmap should be and how we can really integrate crypto into these different industries for gaming as well as esports, and how that would mesh well. So I'm working on our app, as Kyle mentioned. I'm also working on creating our own blockchain which will be the go-to blockchain for gaming and esports, ideally. Alongside that, we're working on our own play-to-earn games, our own mobile games. We're going to be upgrading the token contract. We have our NFT collection coming out. We're going to be doing several D apps and just a ton of different small and larger use cases in terms of being able to use your nobility and really just driving up the volume and the reason for people to want to get into the token.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned the roadmap, and this question is for either one of you, really, whoever wants to answer. But I know the roadmap is like a thing to behold. I know, Hank, you did a lot of work on it, revamping it, and now it's like War and Peace. It reads like a novel. There's just like so many things that you guys have in development. So my question to you guys are, what are like your favorite 2 or top 2 key items on that roadmap that you feel stand out the most to you, and why?
So in terms of the crypto side of it, I'll let Kyle answer on the esports and everything else. But I'm looking forward to one, the blockchain, because I've never built a blockchain from scratch before. I've done mountains of research on it. I've been involved in crypto ever since I was, 15. So I mean, I'm super excited to tackle it. I have some of the most renowned names in crypto helping advise me with the architecture, the design, everything in that regard. Working with some of the guys from Harmony One, people from a plethora of different backgrounds. So I'm super excited about that. And then obviously the play to earn, because I've had my own video game company since I was 13. So super excited to get our first crypto related video game out to you guys. It'll also have a parallel game on the App Store that won't have crypto involved in it, but it'll be the same similar gameplay. So that's also the other thing that I'm really looking forward to showing you guys.
Yeah, and so on the esports side of it, we haven't really announced the details of this deal yet. So one of the things that we're doing at Nobility is actually treating it like a business. We're doing mergers and acquisitions and stuff like that to expand to new markets and a new audience and new networks and stuff like that. And one of the companies that we're going to be investing in is going to be they're a startup right now, but it's huge. And our partner David Chen brought the deal to the table for us. But so we're going to be announcing it in Vegas next week when we go there with a bunch of our community members. But what they're doing is they're building esports arenas across the country. They're going to do 32 of them. They're going to work with NFL teams to partner up with for these esports arenas. They're going to be doing stuff inside the metaverse, which is going to be awesome. And so what I'm excited for is to be the cryptocurrency of that whole ecosystem. So not just the metaverse, but within these brick and mortar esports arenas too. Because a lot of people that are in esports know that there's a lot of inefficiencies when it comes to esports and the way people are paid. And, people are using PayPal mostly to pay their players and staff and tournament winnings and stuff like that. So, being a cryptocurrency and being the focal point in that whole ecosystem is going to be awesome because it's going to be way more efficient. People are going to be getting paid when they need to be paid and what they need to be paid. So that's what I'm excited about because it's going to be completely innovative for the esports space.
Awesome. Yeah. And that actually leads me to one of my other questions that I had for you guys. I know tokens like Nobility that have been out for a while, if you're looking, you look at the chart and you see that it seems that people are they want instant results when they invest in a cryptocurrency. And we're trying the best we can to try to, create a long-term investment strategy. That's really what we're doing as an education piece here at TangoCrypto, is to kind of have people look a little bit further down the road. Since you brought it up, can you help everyone kind of understand why Nobility is such a great long-term investment?
Yeah, so one of the things is, like I said before, we're backed by my esports organization. I think that's important because esports is growing, as I said before, exponentially every single year. If you look at the chart of the growth of esports, it's growing massively and it's growing across the globe. It's more people watch like the League of Legends championship every year more than the Super Bowl and the NBA finals combined. Because I mean, esports is massive. A lot more people can play it because it's more accessible. It's global. So it's just a huge market, and we're going to be we're the only coin right now, the only cryptocurrency that's actually backed by an esports organization. So there's nobody else that's competing with us right now in the esports space that actually has an organization, has the connections that we do. I think that's insanely important. So
I think the marriage of the two is huge, and there's just so many implications. Like I know there's been some mumblings along the way of all the different things that people hope will come along, and I know there's a concept floating around that ultimately there could be video games that you play, maybe even on consoles and such, that would have like the in-game currency instead of just being dollars or whatever, could also be like a Nobility token. Is that like a strategic long-range plan that you guys would hope for long-term?
Yeah, that's something we're going to eventually look into and potentially acquire developers or publishers or whatever it takes to get involved with that or partner up with them. But I mean, you're seeing it now. Like if you play Madden, for those who play Madden or NBA 2K or anything, it's pretty much the exact same thing. Like those games have their own in-game virtual currencies. They all have their different names and stuff like that, but they're still using a virtual currency to buy all these things in the marketplace on the game. So I mean, they're technically using things like skins and cryptocurrency already inside their games. It's all virtual, but we're like you said, we're going to be partnering up with these publishers and developers and making those deals happen so that we can be entered into these games as well to be the currency. But with the esports arenas, I think we have a better avenue and roadmap for that right now. We have the stepping stones that we know what we have to do to get to that point. So that's going to be an easier thing than working inside of these games, but it definitely is going to be something that we're striving for.
And also with our own play to earn, obviously it'll start as a browser version. That'll be our first one that we have planned, but that will use Nobility inside of it as the main currency. And then reward people with NBL once you hit certain milestones or complete a task.
So that leads me to a really important question, and it's the way I understand it, and I just would love to get confirmations. Like, let's say you have this game where people are transacting back and forth. Are those transactions happening on the blockchain, and is it like a taxable event that's going to generate reflections back to your token holders?
Yep.
Yep. You don't have to say much more than that. I mean, you really don't have to say much more than that. I mean, if somebody's looking for a long-term investment, obviously knowing that something like that is in the mix, it's super duper exciting if you're looking down the road.
Yeah, the reflections and all that are a huge part of what we're doing. I think we were the first coin to have those reflections in BUSD. There's other coins that took our contract or whatever, and they're bigger now, but we were one of the first ones at this scale. And having those BUSD reflections is important, especially for our holders. It's like passive income. So if we're not using our use cases the right way and, we don't have those rewards and those BUSD, then I think people are going to lose interest. So I think having that BUSD passive income stuff within our use cases is extremely important.
And we're always looking at the development team as we're always looking at more ways to upgrade and continue to move in a positive way with the crypto itself. So if you look at our roadmap in Q3, we will be upgrading the Nobility contract to use our native coin from our blockchain as the main pairing instead of BSC, and we'll also be doing upgrades to how the reflections work, how the transaction fees work, some functions that have been thought of now that weren't necessarily thought of when the contract was written, some ways of being able to add new features to increase passive income and just the whole 9 yards. So the more that we exist and continue learning new things and coming up with new ideas, we're always going to try to hit the next bar, the next level of what we can provide to you guys, and really just continue to progress both with the esports and the crypto side of everything we do.
Yeah, because
I
things are
know.
constantly changing too. Everything's, upgrading, and people are getting more crazy with what they're doing within these smart contracts. When we first launched Nobility, we had, just like what SafeMoon was doing, like it was just a reward back with more nobility. Then we just thought it was a flawed system, so we talked about it a little bit more. At the time, it was Adrian. We were discussing it in his development team, and then we realized that we could play around with the BUSD stuff. So we tested a bunch of contracts that had the BUSD in there and tried to make it work. And the team didn't even think it would be able to work. But we were finally able to see that it did. We did thousands of test transactions, and we're like, we need to do this, because my background is also so my previous business was also passive income based. So I'm a huge passive income person. Right. So this was like a no brainer to do once we realized that we could actually, do it.
That's fantastic. And I think there may be some people here tonight that don't really know this, but Nobility is the first token to reward into BUSD.
Yeah, like I said, there's other projects out there that have it now, and they've gotten pretty big and popular. But yeah, we were the first ones that had the BUSD reflections.
I think that's awesome. So owning Nobility is like owning a piece of crypto history, right? In terms of first to market, and then also, I think the marriage of what you're doing with esports just has like an unlimited upside. And I know you touched on this, both of you did just a little bit. But so, what was like your main motivations for starting your own blockchain as opposed to just kind of living in the BSC space as it evolves?
I'll let Hank answer that, because one day Hank was like, "Hey, we're doing our own blockchain." I was like, "Okay, buddy, let's do it."
The main motivator behind our own network, our own blockchain, would be, above all else, is if anything goes wrong, we are able to fix it. We don't have to rely on somebody else in order to fix their systems. I mean, a perfect example is when BSC gets congested and all of the data goes out of whack, where it breaks the node syncing, causes CMC to break, etc. When those things happen, we'll be able to fix it and prevent it from happening again. That's always one of the main aspects to consider with any product. If you can use your own instead of having a third party platform, I mean, it's generally a better route to go, unless it's crystal perfect and can't be changed. But there's always things that we can do to upgrade our own infrastructure once we have it, and then we'll be able to take suggestions from the community and really just form our own architecture around what is needed for the industry that we're trying to get into. That all of those factors will go into really why we're doing this. Not to mention, having our own blockchain, it just allows for us to have one more utility, one more use case in our ecosystem for Nobility, and really just be here for the long run, and compete with some of the bigger guys. Because Coinbase, for example, Binance, all of them really don't care about tokens with tokenomics right now. But when we release our own blockchain and we release the native coin that won't have tokenomics, or at least not how tokenomics work at the moment with tokens, there is a possibility of listing on some of the larger names. So that, that's also another feature is the native token alongside the token itself, or the native coin, alongside the token itself, will give Nobility more exposure and generally just more attraction for new holders.
So when you say native coin, just for people that are maybe listening to this for the first time or not too well versed in crypto, but native coin on a blockchain is kind of like BNB is on the BSC chain, right?
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
So it would be Ether to Ethereum.
Right. It's kind of like the unit that you use to buy everything else on the blockchain. So you'll create that coin, and then that'll be like the substance, so to speak. And then I know I had a couple of people that were asking questions like, so I assume you'd also have something like a pegged dollar token as well, kind of like the BUSD that we know today, or like a Tether over on the other network or something like that?
Yeah, that would be the goal. At least if it doesn't happen on release, that will be something that we get while we continue to work with the ecosystem.
Sure.
Find liquidity providers, etc.
Awesome. Well, let's switch gears just a little bit. I try to keep it light and funny, but I sent this to Kyle earlier because I noticed a couple of y'all's tweets kind of circling around your latest announcement, which is the when Bitmart is actually happening. So can you talk a little bit about your exchange listing with Bitmart and how that's going to work? And are your tokenomics going to remain intact? Things like that?
So the Bitmart listing is happening on the 20th. So I think people can deposit starting on the 18th. And Bitmart's already made the announcement as well. So they made it today. We're going to, I think, announce it tomorrow. But yeah, so it's going to be listed on the 20th. People are going to be able to trade it. And they do have a little thing. So this whole reflection thing and the tokenomics is kind of new to them. They just developed whatever system they have, this automatic distribution system that they have now, because they didn't have it before. So we actually talked to them about 6 months ago about listing, but they didn't want to honor the tokenomics. And they wanted us to just list and have people trade freely without any of the tokenomics. We're like, it doesn't really benefit, any of our holders or anything like that. It's a good thing for exposure or whatever, but we like the tokenomics. We want people to be rewarded for holding. And so when they finally came out with this, they're still working on the BUSD and USDT part of it. So people on Bitmart won't actually get BUSD. They're going to be getting USDT, which is, it's pretty similar. It's just a little bit different. So I think that's really the only change for right now.
Yeah, it's just a different network of stablecoin.
And Tether's basically the same as USD. They're both just pegged to the dollar. So it would just be a change in name. But that's really cool. And I love the fact that you kind of stood up, for your company, getting listed on an exchange these days. A lot of tokens talk about doing it, but, they're just doing it so they can get the fame or street cred or whatever that comes along with being listed. But you kind of said, we could go that route, but you stood up and made sure that all your investors were going to be made whole by making sure that tokenomics were going to stay intact and reflections would still be there. And I think that's really cool. I got to give you a huge shout out on that, Kyle. There's not a lot of guys out there that stand up strong in the world today, and you're definitely one of them. And I respect you for that.
I appreciate that.
So my last question that I have, and then we can maybe open it up, or if you guys want to add anything, but near and dear to my heart also with Nobility is the community. The Nobility community is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Can you speak to how critical it's been to have had like such a tightly knit community to support your token, especially kind of like through the ups and downs, so to speak, over the last 3 months?
Yeah, I think the community is undoubtedly any company. It's not just Nobility, it's not just crypto, it's pretty much any company. You look at the NFL, fans are the reason why the NFL is even there in the first place. And it's the same for Nobility. Like if we didn't have the community that we have today, we would not even exist. So, there's people who, like I said on our previous AMA, it's crazy because we started and then we launched on Telegram and then we opened up a Discord and we had people joining the Discord from all over the place, had no communication with them at all before that. And it was like, hey, I want to do this for you guys. I want to do this. I want to set this up. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I didn't even have to do anything within the Discord because people like XO that we have in there now, DeFi Boom, who's in there, April. All these people, Rick, April, I can go on and on, Jeremy, Darren, all these people just came in and started doing stuff, modding, being admins, setting up different bots and all this stuff. And it was amazing. So, there's a huge credit to them. Like they're the ones that have built up this community so amazingly. So I give all the credit to them, honestly.
And you promoted from within, I know, from a lot of the people like that are now active in your Discord and kind of running things over there. That's actually how Karuna and I met and got to be friends. So it'll always be some place to me that was kind of like, that's like home for me. That Nobility Discord, man, that's my favorite place in the world. I kind of cut my teeth in there, so to speak, in the BSC crypto world. But and you're taking like a select group, the Noble Knights, and you're gonna fly them out to Vegas and pay for their airfare and hotel and do some special cool stuff for them, right? That's That's like you're basically giving back to your community.
Yeah, so we're giving back to them. I think that was something. So when we brought David Chen on board as a partner, that's one of the things that he mentioned to us that we should do is we should do this Vegas thing. Take our top community members, go out there, have an awesome time, put a face to the names, and people get to meet us, know that we're real. They get to see our energy and how excited we are about this project and stuff like that. And I think it's insanely important for community members to see on their like their core teams faces and all that stuff. So it's really important to us. So we are flying. I think we have like 30 plus people now. Hank is bringing like 50 of his own people. But no, we have like dinners planned for the 25th and 26th and the 27th. And then on the 27th, we have, we're renting out the HyperX. So HyperX is a big esports company. They have a venue out there at the Luxor. So we're renting that out. I'm going to do some meet and greets and stuff like that. We're bringing some celebrities. We have a Mario Kart tournament that we're going to do and give away some awesome prizes and merch and stuff like that. So it should be awesome time.
Fun. I love playing Mario Kart, man. I've gotten in fistfights over that game before.
Yeah, you should head out there, man. That'd be awesome.
I might have to try to sneak my way out there if I can make it work.
Yeah, it's hard to do with a wife and stuff because, yeah, my wife wouldn't let me go by myself, so she's coming along with me.
Nice.
Yep, same.
Well, Karuna, I was going to turn it over to you. I know you're going to help me moderate tonight. Did you have any questions from the audience or any other questions that you wanted to ask?
Scroll over here and see what we've got as far as questions. I know there's some AMA questions for sure. Find them. That's how you know you have too many channels, is when you can't find the AMA.
I looked in there a minute ago. I didn't think there was one or two that had popped up. Maybe I got one here.
There aren't. We have a really boring set of people here today.
Everyone's enjoying their vacation a little bit. Their holiday.
Could be. Never know. There's a lot of people in here though, so I know there's probably some people with questions. If I don't know if there's any way that they can signal. We're not using a stage, so there's no way to raise your hand. But
what I'll say is, if you have a question or if you wanna speak, just scoot over to the AMA questions chat or even just main chat and just at Karuna, and I'll just turn your mic on. Pretty easy.
So, where do you guys make your homes? I know if that's something you're not, you don't want to share, that's fine. But I know Nobility or Noble is based out of Tampa. That's where I live. Are you guys have like a headquarters planned or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to get an office down here. So I'm actually right outside of Tampa as well in Odessa. So, yep, I'm here right next to you, I think. Where are you from again?
I'm just out in Valrico on the other side, like Brandon, just the other side of Tampa, like headed out I-4 towards Orlando.
Okay, I know exactly where that is. But yeah,
I think I owe you a lunch because I had invited you to go to lunch that day, and then like you had neck surgery like the next week or something, and it just all fell apart.
Yeah, well, my body's falling apart, so yeah, it's been horrible. Like I still can't sit for long periods of time. Like I just went to the Lightning game the other day, and I couldn't sit for the whole thing. It was horrible.
That was awesome. I was going to ask you if you got a chance to go to the Bucks game.
No, I can't sit for that long, unfortunately.
It's a long time.
Maybe a couple more months. Yep. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? You guys can unmute yourselves or something. Do they have permission to unmute themselves?
I don't know if they can. That's in the channel we're in. It's got an overarching coach. I don't know if there's a way to change it or if it's in the root settings. If coach is here, he may be in. If there's somebody chatting in the other channels, coach may be over there helping them out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can change it, but then I still have to manually unmute everybody in here too. If we'd have had it in the other general chat, it'd have been unmuted.
Did you have anybody send you any questions that you could ask while we are waiting for anybody?
There is one in AMA. Somebody deleted it though.
I think I saw it get typed earlier, and then I just went and looked for it, and it wasn't there. So
Yeah, I deleted it. There was only one. It was a good presentation. I really, and you know me, I'm the most inquisitive fella you probably ever met, and I ain't got no questions.
Well, if you can stump the Texan, Kyle and Hank, you've done it. I mean, like you just broke crypto.
Yeah, coach not having a question. What?
Well, I mean, if all you got to do is what you say you're going to do, and everything be fine. If and you don't, well, then I bet you I got a bunch of questions for you. How's that?
I'm never not going to meet my roadmap goals again. Don't worry.
That's hey, you know, I've been in project management almost 30 years. So I understand how projects work and how things have to slip and milestones are set in order for you to meet. And sometimes you have to push a milestone back, but not everybody understands that. So I'm not going to beat you up if you have to move a milestone. Might shoot you in the foot if you miss it, but that's all right.
I don't care what I have to do. I'm not moving nothing.
Well, I
get it done.
I just shoot you in the foot.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, we definitely understand. Like, there's always something that comes up. Like, even like something you would never even think of will always come up, especially during these projects that take months to build out. There's always going to be something. So it's just a matter of being transparent and communicating that with everybody. So not just your team, but the community and everybody else that's involved. So they don't think you're, trying to hide anything or, sweep something under the rug or something. So I think we're pretty transparent. We keep people updated on what we're working on. Hank, he can't keep a secret for his life, so everybody knows everything.
We got a couple of questions here popping up. Let's start with the foremost and most important question. When app for iOS?
No, we were just talking about that actually before we got on this.
I am working on it right now. We've been working on it all day pretty much now that we have our Apple developer license, and I actually have an app team for iOS. So they've been working on fixing up the app pretty much all day.
Yeah, that's another thing too that I want to point out as well, that people think we have these developers, on our dev team, and they all work on the same things, but that's not the case at all. Like, there's a whole team just for the website. There's a whole team just for the Apple part of the app. There's a whole team for the iOS, or not the iOS, the Android and the Google Play version of the app. So, I mean, people are doing all different kinds of stuff. There's a whole separate team for the blockchain, a whole separate team for the esports betting stuff. So I think people need to realize that as well, that there's way more going on than they think. And we have, a lot more developers and people think as well, working on all different kinds of things.
Awesome.
See, we got a couple of questions that came in, and then Hauk, you should be unmuted. So if you want to unmute yourself on your end, you can. Let me just read this one here. Crypto Damsel would like to know, question one, have you been audited? And then just kind of into that one, she says, have you heard about have you not heard about the talk about security funds, whatever investor craves? How strongly built is the security in your token, basically is what she's saying.
Yeah, I can answer that. One, yes, we have been audited. I will throw the audit in the chat for you guys. We are looking at a Big Four audit as well.
But we're probably going to wait until we figure this other stuff out before we get the Big Four audit.
Yeah. In regard to safety, just a few points. I mean, this won't be all of them, but it'll be a relative overview. The initial LP that we had when we first released is locked, and any additional LP that has been generated ever since the release is generated to the debt address. So X00XXX000000. We don't have access to any of the liquidity, any of the funds that are brought in, like through PancakeSwap, other than the use wallet itself. So even if I were to get hacked and somebody took the contract ownership, the funds that are in the blockchain are in the blockchain. No one's able to steal anything from everybody. We wanted to make sure that the liquidity is there to stay, and that if we have development funds or company funds or anything else that we need to pay for, that we specify where they're coming from, which is why we decided to use the use wallet instead of using the liquidity for company funds in that regard. And if you need any of the locked LP information, that is on our website. And in terms of not being able to rug pull, again, we don't have access to any of the funds. So it's quite literally impossible.
Nice. I know you got the Android app out and it looks really cool. I like the feature that you added. It basically has those DApp functions where you go and you check how many your reflections are, you can claim it. But it's also got like the little rank down there, for like Knight and Baron and going all the way up to like the top of all the ranks for like when you pass through different benchmarks as you're building your bags up, to get larger stuff. I really think that's cool. And are you expanding that down the road? Like, are there future plans for like a deeper usage inside of the apps, besides just like the DApp function?
Oh yeah. This was just the current features. So the current features on the app itself, it gives you a portfolio tracking for Nobility in real time. It also has real time OpenSea's NFT tracking for the Ethereum network so far. So if you have anything in your wallet that links to OpenSea or anything like that, you'll be able to see it all in one place. NFT tracking is lacking in apps at the moment, so we really wanted to try to give a all-in-one access where you really won't need to keep your wallet on your phone. As long as you have your wallet address, you can put it on there, and then it removes the need to be able to check your wallet and remove it from having a security flaw on your phone. The other aspects on the app are obviously the BUSD rewards tracking. We have live chart market data, and we also support multiple wallets. So you can have, yours, your dad's, whatever, all in one place if you would like that. Future updates are going to be, we're going to do an integration of augmented reality in terms of our NFTs. We have a equity position in another company that we're partnering with to do this. More information will come on that in Q2.
I think we're going to make that announcement in Vegas, actually.
Yeah, there you go. More information in Vegas.
Nice.
Additional further updates will be, we're going to be adding more NFT network support into the tracker. We're going to have a full crypto market data analysis in there instead of just tracking for Nobility. You'll be able to look up everything, anything you want, and follow anything you want, etc. That would include portfolio tracking for all networks, not just BSC. And then we're also going to be having a built-in swap on the app.
Cool. So you'll really be able to do a lot from that app, like function-wise. It sounds pretty awesome.
Yep, that would be the goal, is to have pretty much all in one.
So speaking a little bit about the NFTs, I know you guys are rolling out like a brand new Noble Knights NFT set that's coming out. Can you talk a little bit about like the process? And I know you have like a white pass that you can mint specific NFTs, and that you can use the NFTs to like play in a game. Can you kind of touch on that, or go into some detail on your NFT rollout that's happening right now?
Yeah, so we're actually making some changes in that regard that we're going to be announcing in our AMA on Saturday, so that people benefit from it, because we can't right now. We're a BSC token. We can't use the NFTs to reflect in BSC, so we're going to be doing something pretty cool. That's in Hank's wheelhouse that he'll announce on Saturday. But we're going to make it so that everybody benefits from it, and we'll announce how all that's going to work and how that's going to happen and what it looks like on Saturday. But for right now, the NFT collection is launching on the 24th of this month. The white passes did go out about a week ago, and that just gave people the ability to lock in a position to get one of the NFTs. But they're awesome. We have one of the best artists, I think, out in the entire industry right now. But I think 4,444 of them are going to be minted, and there is an actual use case behind it. And people are going to be able to earn passive income from holding certain ones. So more information on that on Saturday.
Awesome. Did we have any other questions?
Yeah, there's a few.
Nope, sorry.
Let's see here. So someone here wants to know if you hold a certain amount of Nobility tokens, can you be invited to Vegas with paid expenses?
Yeah, so the way we picked the people going to Vegas, it didn't matter about how much you were holding. We don't even really know who's holding what. We don't ask people. We have no idea. But we just picked the most, the people in our community that represented us the best on social media, inside our Discord. They took initiative and helped us build it up. We have a system right now where people can follow a Discord link and get added to a live support ticket. And we had a whole team that was in there helping people. And the average response time was 14 milliseconds. It's insane what people are doing, but it's awesome. So all those people that stepped up and really helped us build up our community are the people that we decided we wanted to, give back to and take them to Vegas. So bag size doesn't matter.
Awesome. You have someone out here who'd like to know, will the Bitmart USDT reflections pass on to all holders, or I think their question then is, will the Bitmart only pass on to people who are holding on Bitmart, or will it pass on to all holders?
Yeah, so Hank and I are actually going to be doing a voice thing tomorrow inside our Discord, explaining exactly what's going to be going on with the Bitmart deal, how it's all going to work, and the reflections and tokenomics part of it. But if Hank wants to go into it a little bit now, he can. I'll leave it up to him.
We're confirming with the Bitmart team still before tomorrow, so I would feel more comfortable speaking about it tomorrow in our Discord.
So then, if you want to answer to that question, we will drop a link to the Nobility Discord here in the main chat. So if you want to head over there and be a part of that AMA tomorrow, that's going to be your best bet to get that question answered. Home plate and whoever else was asking about that.
Let Hulk jump in real quick. Come on, Incredible Hulk.
Hey, what's up, guys? I didn't want to cut anybody off. There was lots of questions flying around everywhere, and wanted to make sure everybody got their 2 cents in and their 10 minutes of fame. But no, this is great. I love this. This AMA is wonderful, and the information and that's come out today is nothing less of amazing. I'm really excited about what I heard from Kyle earlier, talking about. So did I hear this right, that you guys are acquiring a company that is building 32 gaming arenas, and then you're going to implement the NBL token as basically a way of currency and payout in those arenas? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And inside the metaverse, they're going to be doing brick and mortar. And don't tell anyone we told this yet. I think David was trying to save it for Vegas when we made the official announcement ever. But
I'm just freaking. I'm all giddy over here. I'm like, my hands are shaking because I'm so excited.
Don't tell anybody. It's all over Twitter already, boy.
Please don't tell me.
Everybody's like, we're muted, but you can hear us screaming in the background going, yes.
The second you say anything, it's all over Twitter.
Literally, like when you guys talked about that, I was on mute and I screamed. My wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. It's huge. You wouldn't understand. And that's awesome. That's huge. I think that's amazing. There was a smile on my face from ear to ear when I heard that. So I got a couple other questions. I just want to tell you. I just want to say how excited I was about that.
Just to touch on that a little bit. So that I've referred to it a couple times in our previous AMAs, but about David coming to Tampa and all of us really focusing on our roadmap and our end goal, and that's what it ended up coming out to be. Is we have this plan to be part of the equity owners inside this company. It's going to be a multi-million-dollar company. and they're building out all these arenas and all this stuff in the metaverse and stuff that we're going to be part of. And so, I mean, we're building the stepping stones to get to that point to make sure that it happens. But that's one of the things that we kept going back to is all these other projects are cool, like the esports betting platform and the streaming platform that we might do in the future. But those are all going to be like side projects. So the ecosystem is what we're really focused on right now. Everything else is just like a side thing.
The gaming arena thing is colossal, and don't forget your roots. If you're going to put a gaming arena somewhere, make sure you put one back in Columbus, Ohio, or somewhere back home.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Cleveland, baby.
Yeah, anywhere in the state, within the tri-state. If I can drive there, I'm going to go there and play. Trust me.
Yeah.
No, but I have a couple more questions. I got a question for Hank in regards to the app. So I've been testing out the Android app, and I've been playing around with it a little bit. So will you guys? I know everything's kind of based on the Ethereum network right now, and it kind of just only reflects Nobility. Will you guys have the ability to integrate anything as far as like other tokens that have tokenomics that you guys can integrate and display reflections inside your app, like wallet, where you could like see, if you had, SafeMoon or whatever, like, anything else that reflects and shows tokenomics. Will you guys? Is that something that you might be thinking of in the future to adding into the app as far as that's visible in your wallet?
Yeah. So in regard to tracking your portfolio for other tokens, that will be 100% there. In regards to tracking your reflections, tokens, like the token owners or those communities, are going to have to give us some information so that we're able to do that. But it's something that we can do. It's just a matter of some people, like some other tokens, don't necessarily have it laid out in a easy, organized way of how they do token their reflections. So yes, but on a as case basis.
Right. No, I understand you'll need information from third parties in order to basically create that kind of platform. So I understand it might be pulling teeth with some of these other companies, but awesome. And then my last question is in regarding the NFTs. So as far as the white passes goes, and you guys don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but is there any kind of additional perk that maybe we don't know about right now that might come along with the white pass down the road, maybe like in the metaverse or just in general that you might be able to elaborate on,
Maybe wink. That's my answer.
That's enough. That's enough for me.
Yeah,
I can always expand upon it whenever I want.
That's all you had to do was wink, and I got it.
When Hank winks, like everybody wonders, okay, now what?
Hey, my mind can go wild, but you know what? I have some ideas of where it could go, and I think I might be on the money, but I'm going to keep that to myself. So that's all the questions I had. Thanks for letting me come up here and speak. Awesome news! I can't wait to see you guys out in Vegas as well, and thanks for hosting this AMA Tango as well. And, I'll let you for the rest of the questions.
I appreciate you being here, Hawk. You do a great job for the Nobility community. I have listened to several of your Twitter spaces. I absolutely love your energy, and I'm glad you came over here and contributed to our AMA today. Thanks for being here, brother.
Yeah, and for you guys that are on here, Hawk is also starting up his own YouTube channel, so check that out too.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be 100% dedicated to Nobility.
Awesome. Yeah, can you drop a link to that in the main?
Sure.
Yeah, drop us that link. Well, I'll make sure that we all give you a follow. We'll get that count up really fast for you.
Yeah, I'm just finalizing the graphics. I should have my first video up. I'm going to try to get it up before Vegas, and then try to cover some footage and some other stuff when I'm out there in Vegas as well.
That'll be a blast.
And for everybody else that came from Nobility side of the Discord. There's a couple of YouTubers in here too that you guys should follow as well. So I know Tango, the guy who's hosting this right now, whose Discord this is, he has a YouTube channel, so follow that. I know Mobile Trades is on here, or at least he was. I'm not looking at who's on here anymore, but he obviously has his channel. He was a huge part of building up Nobility in the beginning as well. So definitely follow him too. There's a bunch of good YouTubers that you guys should pay attention to for sure.
Awesome. Mobile Trades is in here. Do you want to step up and hop in for a second, buddy? Are you where you can talk?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad. Staying busy, I guess. I did have actually a question about the blockchain. I was going to wait for everyone to get their chance, but since Dave put me on, with what you're doing with building your own blockchain for Nobility, is there a lot of competition for the space you're going to be doing it in? Obviously, it's eSports and tournaments and gaming. Is there a lot of other blockchains that are catered to that? What's the competition like?
So technically, there are other blockchains that are sort of geared toward gaming, but there's not really one titan in terms of a blockchain that is all about gaming. Most blockchains are, they're about multiple different things. We want to be primarily geared toward gaming, esports, getting that industry involved, as well as offer everything that a normal blockchain would, but we would gear it toward the needs for gaming.
So
because there's a big difference between gaming and esports. I mean, esports is a whole industry. It's a little bit more professionalized and organized and stuff like that. There's actual organizations and stuff. So the esports, I don't think there's any direct competition on the esports side of it, but the gaming side, there definitely is.
But it seems like there's a lot of opportunity there to really stick at the focal point for that.
Yeah, because like through my time with Noble and then my team over at Noble as well, the core team over there, we have a ton of connections to tournament organizers and all these other partners that we've worked with in the past in all different kinds of countries. So once we start launching our esports products, then it should be pretty easy to bring a lot of these guys on board and work with us. So definitely excited to start getting some of that stuff out.
Yeah, I imagine with your position, your mergers, and kind of being the go-to token for all that chain.
Yep.
So
yeah. And David too, obviously his time at FaZe, they're one of the biggest organizations in the entire world. They have a $1 billion IPO valuation. He has extensive connections and everything in the crypto side of it as well. So once these products start coming out, then we're going to be able to leverage his network to help us build up too. So we have a bunch of people on board that have those connections in the network that are going to be able to make these more successful a lot quicker.
For sure. That's one thing I love about this project is it's not it's long term, right? And it's only going to grow.
Yeah.
And gaming, esports aren't going anywhere. And you guys really have that first to market ability, and plus with David on the.
Yeah, and we're continuously building out our team too. Like we're adding a guy who's going to be taking on the CMO role. He just sent me the contract today, so we're probably going to finalize that this week as well. But he's huge in the esports space and the crypto side, so he's going to be a massive addition as well. And I can't wait to introduce him to people.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's all I had question wise. I think that's a good step, honestly, with the blockchain, and then what that's just going to do is attract, there's a big push with gaming and metaverse and all that stuff. I'm sure it's built on a blockchain that's more catered to them in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate your question, man. It was nice talking to you again.
Yeah, you too.
Ricky, are you still in here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I know you said
Ricky,
you want.
Go ahead. Welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing? Great great chat, great information. Personally,
While the
I'm
Jeopardy
very excited
music
about what's
plays.
going on.
All right, well, Ricky, if you hear this and get yourself sorted out so you can talk, feel free to. If not,
Hello.
got
Hey, I can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear
I
him.
was like, I was just like, okay, I was
hear him
tripping out.
great. It's okay.
But anyways, guys, great AMA, great conversation. Definitely excited what I'm hearing. So great job all around. Just have one quick question about your blockchain. It's the third quarter. I guess that's where you're looking to launch it, right?
Correct.
Any plans, or are there going to be opportunities for other smart contracts to migrate over to that blockchain?
Yep. Will be fully EVM compatible. So anything that's on BSC or Ethereum will be able to be used pretty much immediately on our network. And then we would any project that is interested or needs help. Unlike other blockchains, we're accessible. So people could message me, and if it's within my wheelhouse, I'll help them learn how to migrate over, or even just give them tips, or even if they have something that they need from us that isn't part of our network or isn't supported, we'll add support so that they can migrate over.
Excellent. That's really cool. So you got customer care on that side.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I've been working with BSC for months now. I know what I hate about BSC, and there's no one I can just call over at Binance and be like, "Hey, help me, please." So that's another aspect that is personal to me, that I would like to help other people where I haven't been able to get help in the past. Situations like that.
Well, I appreciate the answers, guys. Thank you very much, and continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have anything else, Karuna?
Yeah, we had a couple more questions here. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time, but if you don't mind, just a few more.
I need to leave in 3 minutes. Do you have me for 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
I think
All right.
Hank has to go at 9. He's got a meeting. He told me.
Hopefully, it has to do with the IO set. Just kidding. Let's see here. So do the token holders have the right to participate in the governance of the project? What kind of decisions can they vote on about the project?
Yeah, I mean, we ultimately make the final decisions on all that, like pretty much anything. But I think we do a really good job of taking everybody's opinions and suggestions and constructive criticism into account for pretty much every decision we made. I think people in our community can tell you that we've made decisions in the past that we reverted back to and changed because our community didn't like it or it wasn't up to the standard that they expected. So we've done it multiple times where we did listen to the community and go back on what we wanted just to make them happy. And I think it's done well so far, listening to them and taking their opinions and everything into consideration.
Awesome. Let's see here. I guess this is a pretty general question here, but narrow it down a little bit. Someone says, can you share your opinion about DeFi and NFTs and what makes your NFTs special and rare?
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I can touch on that aspect a little bit. The NFTs themselves, there's going to be 4,444 of them. The NFT generation on Mint is inherently going to make some NFTs rare, some NFTs not as rare, simply because of the assets that we have available. There's 9 different asset attributes with over 883 assets that can be rolled on generation based on which attribute you're getting. There is 6 different rarity types and 6 different asset types that go along with the rarity types. So, I mean, there's just an unlimited potential of what you could roll on generation. In terms of use case, we will be finalizing that in the next day or two and giving more information on our AMA on Saturday. I've spent a lot of hours this week with the development team, just kind of finalizing the entire design of the ecosystem to include the NFTs and everything that we want to get done in that regard. And I think everybody will be very pleasantly surprised and shocked as to what we're doing, because it's something that we haven't done before, and that not many, if any, NFT collections have done before. So I think you'll be happy with the route that we're going. I just don't want to tell you until we have it fully finalized, in case I make a change in the next 48 hours. But you can see a lot of our roadmap on the website in regard to the NFTs. Now, it is subject to change, but it will generally stay within what it is right now.
Awesome. Well, I know that a lot of people may have stayed on until the end just because of the promise that you guys were willing to give away a white pass here for those that are in attendance. I don't know if do we have a way to randomly pick somebody out of the audience? Karuna, is there a way that we can do that?
Actually, I think we'll give away 2 of them since this is a little bit longer. We'll give away 2 white passes to people.
And do we want to try to do that live, or do you want me to just screenshot all of the names that I have, and then we can just use a random number generator for 2 of the spots and then notify by DM? How do y'all want to do that?
I think the random number generator will be the easiest for you, because Discord does not inherently have a good way to log things.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just pulled the screenshots of everybody that's in the channel right now. So as soon as we break and get this done, I will put that into a sheet and number all the names, and then pull a random number generator, and I will publish that in our main chat by screen name. Since you're here on the server, you should be able to get the @ and then also I'll post the names over on the Nobility server, if that's okay with you guys, just in case they maybe miss it over here and happen to be members of both Discords. And if you're a member of TangoCrypto and you're not yet a member of the Nobility Discord, I would highly recommend hopping in over there. If you've ever picked up any of the Twitter spaces or listened to any of the AMAs, the one thing that you'll always hear mentioned is that if you join the Discord for Nobility, you're going to be met with open arms, and there's no question that you cannot ask. And like Kyle said earlier, I mean, it's just, there's so many people that are always online. It always feels very friendly. It's very family. So it's a great place to go and hang out, especially talk about Nobility. Maybe you have more questions or want to learn more about the NFTs or what they have going on. I don't mind saying this. It's a really special community, and it's one of a kind. I mean, I know a lot of tokens have a lot of good communities, but Nobility is kind of the original awesome community that I fell in love with when I kind of moved into the reflection space. And I learned a lot about reflections from that group. So many of my mentors live in that space, and I appreciate all of you guys. And I want to say thanks to Hank and Kyle for being here tonight, taking time out of your day and coming over here to TangoCrypto. And I feel like we had a really good conversation here tonight. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, Kyle or Hank, before we break for the evening?
No, I don't think so. I think we talked about pretty much everything. Just thank you so much for having us on here. I'm a huge fan of this community as well. And we loved having you in our community. Then you had to go and you just turned into a trader and started your own thing.
My God, I'm still over there all the time. I'm just more of a creeper. So like I pop in and say hello. And
Yeah, by the way, people were asking about Wi-Fi money today, but Tango Delta was actually recruited to Nobility from Wi-Fi Money. He's very familiar with them. So
absolutely. And I learned a lot about passive residual income from Wi-Fi Money. Still a big part of that team, just not as active since we kind of started working on this project here. And we're blown away by what's happened so far. I mean, our communities, I don't even think we're 2 months old yet. And just last week we celebrated hitting 1,000 members in our Discord, and as of right now, we're over 1,300, and we just announced 1,200, a couple hours ago. So we're growing really, really fast. And, for those of you that maybe are in the Nobility community and haven't had a chance to be over here yet, TangoCrypto is focused on finding good projects that pay long-term passive residual incomes. It's a group of individuals that, some came from the Nobility space, some came from other spaces, but we all got together and, we vet the tokens. We look at their contracts, we look at their backgrounds, their histories. We reach out and make friendships and relationships with the leaders of the company. And if we like it, we say we like it, and the people on our server get to benefit from that as well. So, we move as a group, and we kind of started a hashtag Good Guy DeFi about a week ago, and you can see that out on Twitter and all the different spaces. But we love all the good tokens, and we want to build long-term passive residual income for everybody in the space. And regardless of whoever your home team is, you can also come over here and hang out with us, and we will love you as much as you're loved in your home community. I promise you that. And if we ever disappoint, like I said earlier today to somebody on the server, if I ever don't deliver on that promise, let me know personally, and I'll fix it myself. So we just really appreciate all you guys, and especially the leaders of your community to come over and spend time with us. And thanks for doing the giveaway. I'll have that posted shortly, and I just wish you guys an amazing amount of success in 2022, and hope you guys have a great trip out to Vegas this coming up week. And just thank you so much for being here, Kyle and Hank. We really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Dave, and thank you everybody for getting on here. It was nice talking to all of you.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, see you guys.
You guys have a good night, and we appreciate you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping by tonight.